Ladies and gentlemen, Chairman of the New Zealand Racing Hall of Fame, Mr. Chris Luoni.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 6th induction dinner of the New Zealand Racing Hall of Fame. A special welcome to the Minister of Racing, who's presently on a plane out of Gore on his way to us. So that's in abstinia. The Mayor of Hamilton, Julie Hardacre, and MP Sue Moroney. Welcome. Today we have international visitors from Hong Kong, Singapore, Macau and Australia attending this event. And we thank you very much for your presence. Today we have 9 past inductees, and we've also received apologies from inductees John Wheeler and Brian Anderton, who wish you all a really good night tonight as well. Tonight we'll be inducting 9 horses and people. Now, several of these new inductees have had major international successes, and indeed some have been honoured by our colleagues in Australia, by the Australian Racing Hall of Fame. The New Zealand Racing Hall of Fame, in my view, has an obligation to promote our inductees, if appropriate, to sister bodies like the Australian Racing Hall of Fame. And here in New Zealand we have a body called the New Zealand Sports Hall of Fame. And I'm very proud to say that next week at the Halberg Awards, one of our existing inductees will be inducted into the New Zealand Sports Hall of Fame. Our late patron, Don McLaren, was a major contributor to our affairs, and tonight we acknowledge the presence of his widow, Rochelle, and son, Scott, representing the McLaren family. I'm also delighted to announce that our new patron is a gentleman called John Costello. John is one of our New Zealand's racing's gentlemen, and he has had a very distinguished and continuing career as a racing journalist. John is the historical catalyst behind our selection committee, and without his considered knowledge of New Zealand's racing history, the selection committee's job would be much more difficult. We've had a number of interesting events since we had our last induction in 2014, and the first was that Gerald Fell and I went to the Asian Racing Conference in Hong Kong as keynote speakers, where we presented our model. And since then, I also note that on the website for the 2016 Asian Racing Conference, a link to our webpage was at the very front end. Also, one of tonight's sponsors, who sadly can't be here, sent us an email, and he made the following comments. This is Adam Sangster from Swettenham Stud. He said, "Thank you for understanding my reasons for not coming. It breaks my heart as your event is globally recognised and accredited. I remember some years ago sponsoring Brent Thompson into the New Zealand Hall of Fame." So I believe with those sort of acknowledgements and accolades, we are being acknowledged in an international sense. We've also established relationships with the Farlap Trust in Timaru, and they are kindly going to donate to us a small bronze statue of this great horse. Tonight we have 16 valued sponsors, and without sponsors you don't really have a great evening, and I'd like to personally thank them. Our event sponsor is Sky City, led by Michelle Bailey. Our inductee sponsors are Haunui Farm and Marie Lester, Majestic Horse Transport, Wexford Stables, Adam Sangster, New Zealand Bloodstock, Dahlia Stud from Australia, Cambridge Stud, IRT and Moa Publications. We also have additional special sponsors: the McLaren family, the New Zealand Racing Board, Sports Inc., Cathay Pacific and the Showcasing Stallion Syndicate. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a night to celebrate our new inductees, so let's enjoy the great stories that will unfold tonight. Thank you.